G'day and welcome to another episode of KiwiCarLife. And Accord Euro fans rejoice because we're going back to the good old days of this channel with an extremely cheap Honda Accord Euro rebuild. Back in the day, as pretty much no one else on YouTube was making videos with these cars, KiwiCarLife became the Accord channel in a way. And the CL9 Euro S build and CL7 Euro R rebuild proved to be extremely popular. I really do owe the initial growth of my channel to these cars, and even though I haven't owned one for the best part of 2 years, every time I get behind the wheel of one to film a review, or in this case to do another restoration, it always brings back some fantastic memories. I reckon these make for some of the best first, second or maybe third cars you can buy. Once you've had some fun with one for a year or two, well then you can sell it and find something faster, as I did. But they're great because they're as dependable as the sunrise, great to drive and affordable to buy and maintain, making them ideal cars to buy, fix up and move on to new homes, which is the goal with this one today. As usual, it was another Turner's damaged find. Way up in Tauranga, 6 hours away, it stated in the auction description that it had damage on just about every panel, and rather concerningly, an engine light and coolant leak. But it had a WAF and reg till next year, only 170,000 Ks, and in theory, it started and drove. I had faith in the strength of the K24 Accord, and so despite the foul condition, worrying description, and 6 hour drive to get it home, I bidded, and staggeringly, no one else wanted it, so I got it for just $1,675. But then came the issue of picking it up. Flights from Wellington to Tauranga are notoriously expensive, and I'd already made plans to go to Napier to film some reviews. So Jack Campbell and I decided to combine the Napier and Tauranga trips and undertake the biggest road trip we've ever done in our lives. We left at 5:30 AM in my efficient diesel Skoda and made good progress towards Napier, arriving at 9 AM 300 kilometers later. I smashed out a review of the supercharged Integra Type R and Honda E, both of which, while totally different, were surprisingly excellent cars. And at lunchtime, we hit the road again for Tauranga. After driving over the very snowy State Highway 5, we cruised north before hitting the excellent East Tauranga Toll Road. I filled up the Skoda after doing a whopping 830 kilometers on a single tank, and by 3 PM we'd arrived and took delivery of my very rough Accord. There were a few very obvious issues. The engine light was on, which turned out to be a transmission range sensor. The bumper had exploded and there were bits of it littered in every part of the car, and the interior was absolutely filthy.
Oh my god.
What's that? Oh, there's a phone.
No, it's a phone.
Oh, it's just a case.
No.
Yeah, it comes with an FM track. That's part of the grill. Back seat looks nice though. Someone's been eating some Whitakers. Oh, Blondie, good flavour. Oh yeah, that tow bar's hammered, eh? I'll just take it off. But after taping the bumper back on, clearing the engine light and discovering the coolant leak was in fact a cracked washer bottle, the car mechanically was actually in much better condition than I expected. It had even just been serviced. So, with my confidence brimming, we hit the road home. And despite the dreadful wipers, which thankfully I only had to use once, the Accord Euro didn't just make it home, but it did so averaging a whopping 7.2 litres per 100k, which beat my previous record in early Accord of 7.4. Mind you, that was nothing compared to what this Skoda achieved. After doing a truly insane 1,170 kilometers and nearly 16 hours of driving, it did all of that at 5.6 litres per 100k, or 50 miles to the gallon. Naturally, we were all shattered by 11 PM when we got home, but we did it. What a day. So after that monumental undertaking, the Accord Euro is home. And surprisingly, there's not actually that many things that we need to sort out on it. The warrant of fitness, registration, tyres and service are all in perfect shape. So really, it's just cosmetics. Because this car is a very late 2008 CL9 Accord Euro, it comes with this very cool Type S grille, which is in fact how I managed to get a grille like this for my silver one. It came off a wrecked one of these. But the rest of the bumper is not faring so well. It's clearly been repaired with some bog here at the front because all this is starting to peel away. The fog light has been stoved in heavily at some point, and the headlights are very, very cloudy, along with an awful cracked and faded bonnet bar up here. So the front end really needs a substantial overhaul. The back window is covered in stickers that need to go. There's some substantial scratches here on the back guard, and the mud flaps falling off. The tailgate's got a big dent in it and is starting to rust. And the tow bar has been absolutely smashed from behind. Oh no, I can't say that on YouTube. The tow bar has been hit from the back and is bent in such a way that I think it will be pretty much impossible to bend it back down again. But the good news is the interior and the drivetrain of this car are performing flawlessly. So once we sort out all of the exterior cosmetic issues, this should turn out to be a pretty great driving and at least relatively tidy Accord Euro. So let's crack into it. After clearing out all of the previous owner's paraphernalia inside, I began by removing all of the untidy bits on the car so that it was totally clear of stickers, writing and broken trims, ready to be washed. I took off the 2 rear mud guards as one was broken, and then undid the clips and bolts around the perimeter of the rear bumper to access the bolts holding on the tow bar. After undoing the 6 bolts on the crash bar and 3 underneath, the old bent tow bar came right off, and then I set to work reinstalling the whole back end of the car again. With the exhaust tips exposed, I took the opportunity to give them a good polish, and then with the rear bumper back on, it was time to attack the front end. While in Auckland collecting the 330i for my girlfriend's sister you saw a few weeks ago, I also got a used front bumper, as the one on the car was ruined beyond repair. So, after taking the new bumper down to the paint shop to be sprayed grey, I set to work scrubbing all of the filth and bird crap off of the exterior and all through the door jambs, and after a few hours work, the car was finally clean. While waiting for the new front bumper, I then started inside, giving it a thorough vacuum. Fortunately, Accord Euro carpet, much like BMW carpet, has nice high-quality bristly fibres that are very easy to clean. With all of the leather seats scrubbed and the plastic trims and dashboard inside wiped down, it was time to begin polishing the outside. I picked up a used rear bumper and tailgate from Pick-A-Part and set to work installing them to replace the scratched and dented ones that were already on the car. It was surprising how much wiring there is in the tailgate for 6 separate lights, the button to open the boot, and the latch. But with all that unclipped and the new boot lid installed and aligned, along with the freshly repainted front bumper, the exterior was looking good as new. Then I set to work polishing out all of the small swirls and scratches on the paintwork. Fortunately, with all the new panels on, there weren't too many left, but eventually with the outside cleaned and polished, the inside vacuumed and windows wiped down, with a lick of tyre shine, the mighty Accord was ready to hit the road once again. You know, when these came out here in New Zealand in 2002, there was a nearly year-long waiting list to get your hands on one. This car was truly world class, and not even its own maker knows how to make something like this again. Honda's latest products are great. The hybrid tech is really cool. It's got all the features you could ever need. I think they look great as well. But no one's spending a year waiting for their new Honda to arrive because so many other people want one too. These are some of the greatest $5,000 cars I think you will ever come across. But even in stock form, in luxury spec, with an automatic transmission, nothing else drives like one of these. Hydraulic steering, you know exactly what the front end is doing. The brakes, perfectly predictable. While they don't hold up on track in stock form on a back road like this, they're perfect. The steering ratio is nice, where it's not too fast to the point where it's uncontrollable, but it's not too slow like really old Hondas where it just becomes a bit cumbersome. And the stability, left, right, even at speed, oh, into VTEC there at $6,000. This thing just handles faultlessly. And then there's the build quality.
the way everything feels on the inside, all of the climate controls, the radio controls, even the indicators, they all just feel solidly put together. Transmission in automatic form, you can rev match it. It's responsive, even right down to first gear, bang, up. Listen to that, bang, it just hammers into the next gear, you feel it. You're involved in the drive. If you're looking for something that will do car things and modification things better than any other $5 car on the market, this is the car for you. And I just wish that Honda could do it again.